So Peter spent 1/4 of his money to buy a bag. He spent 2/5 of the remainder on 4 shirts and saved the rest. What fraction of his money did he spend on the 4 shirts? So notice this question, they did not give us any values of money. They only give us units in terms of fractions. Okay, so if you notice that the phrasing here says of the remainder, all right, so in our earlier lessons, we have discussed this before. Whenever we have remainder theory questions like this, never ever make denominators the same. You have to use model approach and you have to redraw the model in a new layer for the remainder part. All right, so let's do that first. So let's start off with drawing 4 units first. That will be our total at first. Out of 4 units, 1 unit is spent on the bag. Next is to identify where is your remainder first. So your remainder is, of course, the leftover 3 parts here. Now, but I need my remainder to be 5 units. All right, so I don't see 5 units here. It's okay. Just redraw the remainder in a new layer and cut it into 5 equal parts. Out of 5 parts, you can now label 2 out of 5, which is spent on 4 shirts. And whatever is the rest, the remaining here is what he saved. Okay, so that's all. You record your data already. Now, the next thing is, the question is asking for a fraction of the money that he spent on the 4 shirts. All right. In other words, what they are requiring from us is they require the value of 4 shirts, okay, the cost of 4 shirts, out of, they say what fraction of Peter's money. So the of something, right, of Peter's money, that would be our denominator that we require. Okay, so 4 shirts cost out of the whole of Peter's money. All right. Now, so in this case, the units that is here is sufficient to help you create a fraction. There's no need for any like value, any money involved in this case. All right, which is why part A still really asks us for fraction. Now, the whole of Peter's money, okay, so 4 shirts is these 2 parts. All right, but where is the model for Peter's money? So do you recall Peter's money was all the 4 units? That was his total money that he has. Okay. Now, however, if you look at the 4 shirts model as well as the whole money that he has, the unit sizes are different. The top layer obviously has bigger size units. The bottom layer has smaller sized units. All right. Hence, it is not fair to just say the fraction is 2 units out of 4 units. This is wrong. All right. So what we have to do is we have to make sure the unit sizes are kept consistent. How do we do that? Okay. So one way is, yes, you can go and cut the model. All right. So if you look at the remainder layer is 3 parts on top, 5 parts at the bottom. So some of you say, okay, you can cut into 15 units at the top, 15 units at the bottom. So you're thinking of LCM, LCM between 3 and 5. All right, that's fine. All right, so cutting is okay. Now, however, cutting into 15 units may not be so simple, especially when you're dealing with so many units. 15 is quite big, okay? It's quite a lot of units involved. All right, so you may end up being careless while cutting, and carelessness basically is the main issue, and you might not be able to cut nicely also. All right, so working with LCM is definitely true in this case. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So my remainder layer is what I like to focus on because looking at my remainder, top is 3 blocks, bottom is 5 blocks. So we need to make sure the remainder is kept the same number of units. That's how we ensure that the unit sizes is consistent, all right, it's the same throughout. So between 3 blocks and 5 blocks, the common multiple would be 15 blocks, 15 units. Oops, okay, so this is LCM of 3 and 5, and that will be 15. All right, so I want to convert my remainder to a fixed 15 units. Now, to do that without cutting is possible. Why? Because you can just allocate a fixed number of units to each existing block. So to make this into 15 units, each of this, you can allocate 5 U. 5, 5, 5. Isn't that 15 U? Alright? And you can do the same for the bottom. So the bottom is 5 blocks. So each block will be 3, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. 5 sets of 3 U's give you 15 U's. Okay, so now your remainder is fixed at 15 units. You can safely put the bag as 5U, same as the rest over here. All right, and there you go. Okay, this is how you ensure there's fairness throughout the top and the bottom layer of models. Then you can go on to create the fraction that is required. So we need the cost of 4 shirts. To get 4 shirts, you have 3U, 2 sets of 3U. So that's 6 units. And we can find the whole of Peter's money that forms our denominator. All right, so total cost for Peter's money, if you look at the top, that will be his total. 5555, that will be 4 sets of 5U. That'll be 20 units, right? So there you go. You can create a fraction 6 out of 20. Remember to simplify it, 3 out of 10. And that's for part A. Okay, I'm going to erase this so that we have part B over there. All right, so for part B, the bag costs $168 more than one shirt. Given that the price of each shirt was the same, how much did he save? So 168 is the difference between a bag and a shirt. Now, so far we know a bag is 5U, no issues. Okay, so I'm going to write that down. So the bag costs 5 units. Now, but for the shirt, one shirt, do I have the units for one shirt so far? Do I know what's the cost units for a shirt? At this point, I do not know yet because what I know so far is 4 shirts cost a total of 6 units. Okay, so 4 shirts cost 6U. So what you can just do next is go and find out how many units represents one shirt. And that will be simply 6U divided by 4, which is 1.5 units. Okay, now don't worry at this point if you get like the decimal number of units, it's okay. All right, although it's not shown in the model, it can't be represented in the model, but you just need to know that the units, the cost units that belongs to one shirt is 1.5 units. All right, so in other words, now I can say this is 1.5U. I can now safely go on to take the difference because 168 is the difference. So I find the difference between 5U and 1.5U, which is 3.5 units. And this 3.5 units will then represent the $168 difference. We can find 1 unit from there. Just take your 168 divide by 3.5. Alright, so once you have found 1 unit, always reread back the final question to see what they want. They ask you how much did Peter save? Whatever he saved, look at your model. If you look at the model, the save part is 9 units, correct? 3 times 3U. So 9 units that save, you just need to calculate that out. $48 times 9. And that's it.